Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Festus Intermediate Veterans Day Committee, Mr. Kearns, our principal, and the students and staff of Festus Intermediate School, I would like to welcome you, our honored guests and veterans, their family members, to the 20th Annual Veterans Day celebration. Let's give our veterans a hand for coming. My name is Steve Williams, and our program begins today with our honor choir as they sing our national anthem. Would you please rise, and then remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance after the honor choir sings. At this time, I would like to direct your attention to our video screen. This video is called The Pledge of Allegiance. It is a remake of Charlie Daniels, a very patriotic musician, and the story of a teacher who doesn't think his students really understand the meaning of the pledge. He explains every phrase and adds something at the end that could very well be speaking of today.
By the late Red Skelton on his television program as he related the story of his teacher, Mr. Laswell, who felt his students had come to think of the Pledge of Allegiance as merely something to recite in class each day. Now, more than ever, listen to the meaning of these words. I've been listening to you boys and girls recite the Pledge of Allegiance all semester, and it seems as though it's becoming monotonous to you. May I recite it? Try to explain to you the meaning of each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one. Pledge, dedicate all of my worldly goods to give without self-pity. Allegiance, my love and my devotion. To the flag, our standard, Old Glory, a symbol of freedom. Wherever she waves, there's respect, because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts, freedom is everybody's job. United, that means that we've all come together. States, individual communities that have united into 48 great states. 48 individual communities with pride, dignity, and purpose, all divided with imaginary boundaries, yet united united to a common purpose, and that's love for country. And to the republic, a state in which sovereign power is invested in representatives chosen by the people to govern. And government is the people. It is from the people to the leaders, and not from the leaders to the people. For which it stands, one nation. One nation, meaning so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom, the right and power to live one's own life without threats, fear, or some sort of retaliation, and justice, the principle or quality of dealing fairly with others, for all, which means, boys and girls, it's as much your country as it is mine. Since I was a small boy, 2 states have been added to our country, and 2 words have been added to the Pledge of Allegiance, under God. Now, wouldn't it be a pity if someone said that's a prayer, and that it would be eliminated from schools too? God bless America.
Our program continues today with remarks from our 6th grade students. Our first speaker today is Grady Evans.
Today, at Festus Intermediate School, we are celebrating Veterans Day. It is our chance to honor and thank the men and women who have served and fought so bravely in the service of this great nation. From the American Revolution in 1776 to today's war on terror, we must remember that freedom is never free.
Our next speaker is London Hall.
Veterans Day began after World War I and was originally called Armistice Day. The word armistice means a truce between nations at war. On the 11th month of the 11th hour of the 11th day, the armistice was signed after 4 years of bitter war. 1 year later, November 11th, 1919 was set aside to remember the sacrifices made by our soldiers during World War I. It continued to be known by this name for many years.
Our next speaker, Nico Johnson.
In 1938, Armistice Day became a national holiday that would be recognized every November 11th. In 1954, the Constitution passed a bill officially renaming this holiday Veterans Day to honor those who not only served during times of war, but also during times of peace.
Our next speaker is Jude Meadows.
Veterans Day gives us an awesome opportunity. It allows all of us to remember those who have served in the military to defend our freedoms and keep us safe. We can never fully repay our debt of gratitude to all those American service members who have died while in the service of our country, or to the millions who have been wounded. We can, however, recognize and thank the millions of veterans still living today for allowing us to live free in the greatest nation in the world, the United States of America.
I'd like to direct your attention to our video screen again as we watch a video called Introduction of Veterans Day.
Veterans Day, November 11th, a day of observance, remembrance, and reflection. A day set aside to thank and honor all military veterans who have served our nation honorably in war or peacetime. It is also a commemoration of how our military veterans stand as the transition between the struggle of life and sacrifice and the peace that follows. Veterans Day is a federal holiday in the United States, observed annually on November 11th, and this day gives all Americans the opportunity to celebrate the bravery, service, and sacrifice of all U.S. veterans, living and deceased. A veteran is someone who has served on active duty in the United States Armed Forces, Public Health Service, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or Environmental Science Service. We must also never forget any prisoner of war or those missing in action who did not return home. There are currently more than 17 million veterans living in the U.S. in every state and territory. They come from all walks of life. Some are old and some are young. Some served here at home and others overseas. They are from big cities, small towns, and everywhere in between. But how is this holiday different than Memorial Day? And why November 11th? Veterans Day celebrates the service of all U.S. military veterans, while Memorial Day, which is observed in May, honors service members who have died in service to their country or as a result of injuries incurred in battle. Another military holiday that also occurs in May, Armed Forces Day, honors those currently serving in the U.S. military. Veterans Day, formerly known as Armistice Day, was originally set as a U.S. legal holiday to honor the end of the major hostilities of World War I, as they were formally ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. For that reason, November 11th, 1918 was largely considered the end of the war to end all wars and dubbed Armistice Day. In November 1919, President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed the first commemoration of Armistice Day with the following words: "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the councils of the nations." In legislation that was passed in 1938, November 11th was made a legal holiday and dedicated to the cause of world peace and to be hereafter celebrated and known as Armistice Day. As such, this new legal holiday was primarily a day set aside to honor only veterans of World War I. In other nations also involved in the First World War, their Remembrance Day is also observed on November 11th. In 1945, World War II veteran Raymond Weeks from Birmingham, Alabama, had the idea to expand Armistice Day to celebrate all veterans, not just those who died and served in World War I. Weeks led a delegation to General Dwight Eisenhower, who supported the idea of a National Veterans Day. At the continued urging of major U.S. veteran organizations, Armistice Day was renamed Veterans Day in 1954, and later that year, now President Dwight D. Eisenhower issued the first Veterans Day proclamation, calling upon Americans everywhere to rededicate themselves to the cause of peace. The Veterans Day National Ceremony is held each year at Arlington National Cemetery at 11 a.m. A color guard made up of members from each branch of the military renders honors to America's war dead during a tradition-rich ceremony at the tomb of the unknown soldier. The president or his representative places a wreath at the tomb, and a bugler sounds taps. At the tomb of the unknown soldier, an American soldier, a veteran, is buried on a Virginia hillside overlooking the Potomac River and Washington, D.C. Inscribed on the back of the tomb are the words, "Here rests in honor, glory, an American soldier, known but to God." An Army sentinel maintains a 24-hour guard over the tomb, a constant vigil regardless of weather conditions. How can you help to honor America's veterans on Veterans Day? Write letters to veterans with help from local American Legion or VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars chapters. Visit and place small U.S. flags or a wreath at the graves of your local veterans. In school, students can share photographs of family members who are veterans and may also look up former students, teachers, and staff who are veterans to also display their names and pictures. Many of us are sons, daughters, cousins, or other relatives of a veteran or current service member. By setting aside November 11th and engaging in discussion about these crucial members of our family and our society, we are able to hear from and about those closest to us who have helped to shape U.S. history. Veterans Day continues to be observed each and every year on November 11th, regardless of what day of the week on which it falls. The observance of Veterans Day not only preserves the historical significance of November 11th, but helps focus attention on the important purpose of this day, a celebration to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. Please remember to thank a veteran today. Thank them for their service and their sacrifice on behalf of all of us and to the United States.
As our program continues, our next student speaker is Carly Null.
The commitment and sacrifice of our veterans and those who have died while in the service of their country, on and off the battlefield, has allowed all of us here to enjoy a way of life that is unique. We have freedoms established by our founding fathers, men like George Washington, the father of our country, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and James Madison. The father of Washington, the father of our country, the father of our Constitution, just to name a few. These freedoms continue today because of the men and women in uniform who protect this nation every single day.
Our next speaker, Peyton Allen.
The sixth grade class has stated by our founding fathers and how from May through September of 1787 they were determined to create a framework of government where the people had a voice. We were a new nation and the eyes of the world were on us. Well, after many debates and lots of compromise, they did it. The U.S. Constitution was signed September 17, 1787 and has been a model constitution for other nations for over 200 years.
Our sixth grade class has studied and memorized the preamble of the U.S. Constitution. The preamble tells the world that we are a nation of the people, not of a king, a dictator, or a tyrant. At this time, the sixth grade class would like to share it with you. Sixth graders, if you would please stand. Sixth graders, very good job. Our next student speaker is Molly Holmes.
It is now time to meet and thank our very special veterans who were able to join us today. These brave men and women represent service during World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, the Gulf War, the War on Terror in Iraq and Afghanistan, and service during our times of peace. At this time, we will play the Armed Forces Medley. Veterans, if you would please stand when your anthem is played.
veterans. Our next student speaker is Austin Hofsinger.
We, the students of Festus Intermediate, thank each and every one of you for the service you've given to our country. Service that has kept us safe and free in the greatest nation in the world, the United States of America.
The students and staff at Festus Intermediate say thank you for the freedoms we enjoy in this country today were preserved because of dedicated service and sacrifice you and your families gave so many years ago. Let's give a big Festus Intermediate round of applause for our I'd like to direct your attention to our honor choir, led by Mr. Ryan, and the speaking solos are Adrian Kreitz, Emery Roth, Emma Overman, and the singing trio, Callista Yada, Naomi Shipwell, and Marianne Tedford.
Not like the brazen giants of Greek faith, with conquering limbs astride from land to land. Here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles.
From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep ancient lands your storied pomp, cried she with silent lips.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless tempt tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door.
Drury. Here we go.
give it up one more time for the honor choir. Well, this concludes our program. To honor our veterans and highlight the importance of Veterans Day and the great nation we live in, we just want to thank our intermediate students for their respectful attention and honor shown to our veterans, the honor choir for their beautiful songs, the committee of teachers who helped with the planning and the assembly, and all the students and staff who helped during our program. But our biggest thanks is to you, our veterans, not only for joining us today, but for the sacrifices you've made for this great nation and for the freedom we enjoy today. Let's give our veterans another round. To be honest with you, I really thought we'd get through it this year. It has been a tradition here at Festus Intermediate to end the program with the formation of our honor corridor. So please listen carefully. Teachers in a moment, you will direct your students to their proper place in the honor corridor route. Students remain seated until your teacher instructs you to stand. Students who are going to walk with the veteran, you're invited. Please stand up and go find your veteran. Stand with your veteran until the corridor procession starts, and all students are going to directly to their class once the last veteran has reached the end of the honor corridor. So veterans, please stay seated. You and your student will be led through the honor corridor, out of the building, through the 5th grade hallway. If you are in need of the elevator, please simply leave the procession as we come in. Teachers, you may now take your students to their place at the report. Thank you, veterans, for coming.